Hello students, I'm Aanchal Sharma. Today we are going to discuss about UGC-NET. So what is UGC-NET? UGC-NET is the basic eligibility test that you give to become future assistant professors or lecturers at university level and at college level. So what is UGC-NET and what is the difference between CSIR-NET? So the one major difference that we'll discuss is that if you are from a humanities section or other subjects as your main, then you will be giving UGC-NET exam. While if you are from a science background and you have these 5 as your subjects, you will be giving CSIR-NET. So these 5 subjects are chemical science, earth science, life science, physical science and mathematical science. So if you have these as your 5 subjects, then you will be giving CSIR-NET. While if you have other subjects as your core, then you will be giving the NET exam. So NET exam is conducted in 84 other subjects. These subjects are like English literature, pol science, commerce, account, or you can say economics, etc. So they are the other subjects. Now what is UGC-NET? UGC-NET is the test that determines the eligibility of Indian nationals for assistant professor and for the junior research fellowship. So if you clear the exam, you can teach in the universities and at colleges and carry forward your research work. There are some fellowships that we can see, and for these fellowships or the attainment of these fellowships, the people, or you can say the candidates, need to apply for the test. So these other fellowships are the National Fellowship for Scheduled Caste Students, the National Fellowship for Other Backward Classes, Maulana Azad National Fellowship for Minority Students. So what is fellowship? Fellowship is the amount that government gives you so that you can carry forward your research work. So these are the certain fellowships apart from the junior research fellowship that is given. Now what is UGC? So the University Grant Commission, UGC, is a statutory body of the Government of India, Ministry of Education, Department of Higher Education, that was constituted in 1956. It comes with the responsibilities like providing funds, coordination, determination and maintenance of the standards of higher education. So this is the body that will look for the maintenance of the standards. There are other mandates as well that you can see for the UGC. Now what are these? Promoting and coordinating university education, then determining and maintaining the standards of teaching, examination and the research work as well, then framing regulations of the minimum standards of education, monitoring different fields that are under this, and of course granting the universities and the colleges is also done by UGC. Last but not the least, it also acts as a link between your union and the state government. Then what is NTA? So NTA is a body that was developed that will actually see how this exam is conducted, how smooth and efficiently the exam is conducted. So the Ministry of Human Resource and Development, that is now called as MOE, the name has been changed, has established this National Test Agency that is called as NTA. It is a very independent and autonomous self-sustained premier institute that will look at the competency of the students and how smoothly the exams are conducted. So however you fill the exam and how your scorecard is generated and everything is dealt by your NET, that is the National Testing Agency, that is the NTA. Now there are certain eligibility criteria that we need to see for the UGC-NET exam. So UGC-NET exam is conducted twice, that in a year it is conducted 2 times, and we have 2 exams in under it. So we have paper 1 and paper 2. So for clearing, for actually filling the form, you should know the eligibility criteria as well. So the candidates should at least have 55% marks in your master's degree to actually apply for the exam. Then the other, that is, you can say the categories like other backward classes, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, then persons with disability or transgender have a leverage that they can have at least 50% marks in their masters. So for the general category, the cutoff is 55%. That means you should have at least 55% in your masters. while for the other categories, we have 50% marks. Then the candidates who are pursuing masters can apply for this exam. But if you have just enrolled yourself in the master's degree, then also you can give this exam. But the only problem is that you need to, of course, for getting the degree of UGC-NET, you need to show them that you have at least 55% marks or 50. That is depending on the category where you lie. So this is how they judge you. Then candidates with a PhD degree whose master's level degree was complete before September 19, 1991 are also having certain leverage. They have a relaxation in the eligibility list for about 5% aggregate. That means for them it is also 50% marks in their masters. So we'll quickly discuss. If you are from a general category, you should have 55% in your masters or above. If you are from a reserved category, then you can also have 50%. But if you have given this PhD degree, then you can have 50% as your aggregate. Then the candidates are also suggested to give the NET exam in the subjects in which they have done their masters. Now, what is this thing? So UGC-NET is actually an exam that has two sections, or you can say two papers that are included. So paper 1 and paper 2. So what do they want is that your paper 2 should be, as the subject in which you are giving the paper 2 exam should be the same in which you have done your masters. So paper 1 is an exam that is common for everyone. Common does not mean that you will have the same paper for every subject. Common means that the units that are in paper 1 is same for everyone. While in paper 2, it is related to the subject in which you have done your masters in. We'll be discussing it further in the video. So, the candidates are suggested to choose the same NET subject in which they have done their masters. So, there are 82, 84 subjects and even more in which you can do your research work as well and give the exam for those subjects. So the candidates possessing the post-grad diploma or certificate, or you can say a foreign degree, is equivalent to the master's degree that we have. So if you are a foreign student, you have a post-grad diploma or a certificate awarded to you, then also you are eligible for the examination. But it should be from a recognized society or from a recognized university. Then what is the age limit? So there is no age limit when we talk about the post of assistant professors. But when it comes to JRF, then there is a age bar that is of 31 years. This is related to the cycle 2022. Now, no new regulations has been released till now. For now, you can say it is 31 years. So, if you are applying for the post of assistant professors, there is no age limit for you. But if you are applying for junior research fellowship, then it is 31 years for you. There are other age relaxations that we'll be discussing. So, these are the certain categories in which age relaxations are given. So, the scheduled tribe and scheduled caste have an age relaxation of 5 years. Then we have OBC, that is the other backward classes, that have the age relaxation of 5 years. In fact, the PWD, that is the persons with disability, also have age relaxation of 5 years. The students who have LLM degree have relaxation of 5 years. Women applicants also have an relaxation of 5 years. Then the students who have done or who have actually a research experience in the topic that they are giving the exam also have relaxation of maximum up to 5 years. So this is maximum. It also depends on the research work that you have done and how much research work you have conducted. Transgender have a relaxation of 3 years. And armed force services also have a relaxation maximum up to 5 years. Then UGC-NET is an online based exam. So this is the basic structure of the examination. It's an online mode exam. It is conducted in English or in Hindi. What is the mode? It is online. That is on the computers you will be giving this exam. It is no pen and paper exam. It is conducted twice a year. That means 2 times a year this exam is given. Paper 1 and paper 2 are the 2 exams that are conducted simultaneously. So in one window, you will be giving these 2 exams simultaneously in one go. So about 180 minutes, or you can say 3 hours is the duration that you will be given, and in that duration you will be giving this exam. So basically for paper 1 you will be getting 1 hour and then 2 hours for paper 2, but that of course depends on you. You can of course interchange it because it is one video in which these two papers are open. So in paper 1 there are about 50 questions and each question is for 2 marks, which makes it about 100. And in paper 2, that is the paper that is your core, the subject. This is the paper in which the NTA people want you to choose this paper according to your subjects. So the subjects in which you have done your masters is the exam that you will be giving, or is the subject that is for paper 2. For example, you can say that a person has done their masters or their BA as well in English literature. So the core exam, or you can say the paper 1 will be for English literature. So that English literature section will have 100 questions, each question again for 2 marks. There is no negative marking, which makes the paper 2 for about 200 marks. While paper 1, you will have 50 questions, 2 marks each, which makes it as 100. So in total, it is of 300 marks. Also, what are the number of questions? You have 150 questions in total. So 50 for paper 1 and 100 for paper 2. And simultaneously, you will be giving this exam. Also, previously, before 2018, it was CBSE that conducted this exam. And the pattern was also different. We used to have 3 exams, or you can say 3 papers simultaneously. That was the core was for 2, that is paper 2 and paper 3 for the core or the subject that you have done in your masters in. While now, both the exams, paper 1, paper 2 are conducted together. Both of them are the exams that are aggregated and then the marks are told. So it is not that you need to qualify paper 1 to start paper 2. Both of them are calculated together. So how are you actually judged on this? So whenever you give this exam, you need to have about 40%. So 40% is the basic, you can say, cutoff that is being generated. It is the basic criteria. If you get 40% and above, then you qualify for this exam. But qualifying does not mean that you will be eligible for the post of assistant professor. You need to lack in the merit, you need to stand up for the merit list as well. So if you give this exam and you have 40%, at least 40% in your exam, then you will be qualifying this exam. Then each subject, you can say each subjects like commerce, or you can say English literature, pol science, etc. They'll be having their different cutoffs and you need to fall in those cutoffs. So out of all the students, as we know, lakhs of students give this exam. About 6% of the students are chosen, and from those 6%, some would be eligible for the post of assistant professor, while others are eligible for the JRF. So JRF students are not students that are different from the students who qualify for the post of assistant professor. They are basically falling under the categories that is from the highest, right? So when you give this exam, you need to have 40%. You will qualify this exam. After qualifying, you will have cutoffs. On the basis of cutoffs, the top few students, or the 6% that is the criteria, will be eligible for the post of assistant professor, while the top-notch students would be eligible for carry forwarding their research and they'll be awarded the certificate for junior research fellowship. So I hope things were cleared. I would quickly revise. There are about 50 questions in paper 1 and about 100 questions in your paper 2. Both these exams or these papers are conducted simultaneously. 100 marks and 200 marks. This makes for the examination for 300 marks. Then there is no negative marking and you need to give this exam in one go. Now, what is JRF? So the JRF, Junior Research Fellowship, is a certificate that is awarded by UGC-NET to about top students, about 5% or 7% top students who qualify and who are in the merit list as well. So these students are given scholarship on the basis of what? On the basis of the difficulty level this list is formed, or on the basis of number of seats available, or on the basis of different subjects that you are in. So if you fall under the category of JRF, you will be given certificate for Junior Research Fellowship and you can carry forward your research from a premier institute. You will be given different stipends. So for about 2 years, you will be given 31,000 plus your HRA. That depends on the university from which you are doing your research. While when you move forward for the other years, after these 2 years, of course, the stipend is raised. So when you have the JRF certificate, you will be carry forwarding your research. When you are eligible for the post of assistant professor, that means you fall under the category, or you can say the merit list, then you can go to different universities, give your interviews. There are certain screening program that will happen, and then you can become assistant professors or lecturers. That of course depends on the different universities that you target. So I hope things were clear to you, and I tried to make them lucid. So this is basically an eligibility test that will help you determine to become the future assistant professors in our country, and come forward to the goal that you have decided. I hope things were cleared. If you have any doubt, you can write it in a comment section and we'll surely reply to you. Thank you.